Hey, good morning, everybody. Joey here again. Just enjoying getting ready to enjoy pipe. It's about 11 o'clock. See, what day is it today? Friday. Um, Day off work, and I'm just going to enjoy a pipe of Cornell and Diehl's Tuskegee Airman. I just did a review on this stuff. I liked it initially, and now I love it. It's actually grown on me quite a bit. So I'm just sitting here kind of hanging out, listening to a little music. Appropriately enough, Veterans Day here, one of our national holidays in the U.S., where we kind of think about and pay tribute to some of our veterans in the past and currently. This particular tobacco, this Tuskegee Airman, it's Virginia's Perique, Turkish, and Latakia. I really like this stuff. It's pretty complex when you smoke it, but appropriate for Veterans Day that just passed a couple days ago. These Tuskegee Airmen, sorry about that, were, I guess, an all black or all African American fighter squadron back in World War II. Kind of an experiment back then. Kind of hard for those guys back then initially. All the prejudice and everything else going on back then, but apparently their record for escorting the U.S. bombers, B-17s, into Germany and all that, apparently they never lost a single bomber while they were escorting them. So I guess those guys did a pretty good job. I know a lot of my family served in the military. I did not. Sometimes I wish that I had. Probably would have done me some good when I was growing up. You know, when you're younger, you can kind of tend to be a knucklehead sometimes. I think maybe the military would have made me grow up a little faster, matured a little faster, I don't know. But, yeah, my hat's off to those guys. I'll tell you, they didn't have it easy, these bomber crews. And I know I have two uncles that were, one was a B-17 pilot, the other was a B-17 waist gunner back in World War II. Oddly enough, my heritage is, on my father's side, both my grandparents immigrated to the United States from Germany. I guess they were fairly young when they came over here, but my one uncle, my grandmother's little brother, my great uncle actually, born and raised in Germany, I think until he was maybe 12, came here to the United States, Michigan, I believe, Detroit area. And he wound up joining the United States Army Air Corps back then. They didn't have an Air Force. It was under the Army. Oddly enough, he wound up flying B-17s and bombing the very country he was born in. But yeah, I have another uncle on my mother's side. That was in the Korean War. He was actually killed over there, and I think it was November of 1950. My family never really knew what happened to him. They got excuse me, still got a little bit of the sniffles. But they got that standard telegram or whatever, he's missing in action, and up until, I want to say about 5 years ago, they never knew what happened to him. And I somehow sort of took an interest in this, and I started poking around on the internet, and I found out what unit he was in over there in Korea. And I actually, apparently out of his company of 132 some odd men, only 3 of them survived. And I actually was able to contact one of those guys in Lubbock, Texas, that actually knew my uncle quite well. I mean, it was astonishing that I was able to find him or make contact with him, and he actually was there when my uncle was killed and was able to enlighten us on what had happened. You know, he was killed while on a patrol. I guess the Chinese came pouring across the border there into North Korea and overwhelmed most of our troops over there. It was a disaster, pretty much. But I wound up going to one of their reunions and meeting some of these other guys, and there was a fella there from the Air Force that was charged with trying to bring back some of these remains from our soldiers that died over there. I guess North Korea finally allowed us access to try to recover some of these soldiers' remains. Anyway, this fella that I made contact with was able to show this Air Force colonel where exactly these guys were killed in my uncle's, in that patrol he was on. And 2 years ago, they actually found my uncle. They sent his dog tags back to my grandmother. So it's kind of a neat little story there. I mean, it's almost impossible that that they were able to. The way it all came together was just pretty neat. So from curiosity came finding my uncle. So it's kind of a very neat story. But yeah, those guys didn't have it easy, you know. And the guys today don't have it easy. I know a lot of these kids, come back with some was that post-traumatic stress that they didn't even used to know what that was. They just thought these guys were, what they call it, shell shock. Back in the World War II era, when these guys would have trouble, after they got home. But I suppose it's not easy for these kids, nowadays to kind of meld back into society after experiencing the things they do over there in the Middle East and all that. But I just have a very great respect, for those guys, those kids, and all the way back to World War II and World War I. Those guys put it all on the line to stop, World War II especially, pretty much a maniacal madman there. Plans of taking over the world. So we owe those guys a lot. But at any rate, I was just thinking about our veterans, smoking a little Tuskegee Airman, listening to a little music, as I said, and just kind of reflecting back a little bit, thinking about the guys that are our soldiers that are over there now. Going to take the missus out for a nice dinner tonight. I'm looking forward to that. But at any rate, just kind of a little rant, maybe a little tribute to all our veterans over there and ones that have served in the past. So thank you. Anyone who's in the military or has served in the military, I greatly appreciate what you do. I know we owe you guys a lot. But anyway, that's about it. I hope everybody's doing really well, is having a good day today, and I will talk to you later.